So, gentlemen, good evening. How are you? I'm on Hollybobs, everybody. So, I'm sat in a caravan. So you may find my signal might play up a little bit, but welcome everybody to, shall we say, the day after the night before, I guess, really. But anyway, Nigel, how are you? Did you enjoy yourself yesterday?
Yes, I was out from about 4 o'clock yesterday. Got back at 3:30 in the morning. So it was a good night.
Darren, how are you?
I'm not too bad, mate. Enjoying watching the football and the tennis as well. I'm a little bit tired today after all the excitement or lack of excitement from yesterday's game, but we'll touch on to that later on.
Yes, we will. So, look, folks, what we're going to do tonight is we are going to have a little chat about the quarterfinals that have just gone, and we'll have a look forward to the semi-finals. And then I'm going to carry on with my holiday. So, we won't start with England. We'll go into, let's look at the other 3 quarterfinals, and then we'll touch on the England game. So, let's start with the other group. So let's start with France, Portugal. Did you watch it first and foremost? I see some of it. Didn't see all of it. Nigel, did you watch that one?
Yeah, I watched the game. Yeah,
Darren, you're nodding away there, so I take it you did.
I did, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that then?
It's a Ronaldo show, isn't it? Oh, they've got a corner. Ronaldo's taking it. They've got a free kick. Ronaldo's taking it. He's going to try from the halfway lane.
Do you think he's embarrassed himself a little bit in this tournament?
I think he has a little. I think he's wanted it so much that he's, it's become a bit sort of, he was taking everything and trying to score with everything. And I've got to say, I've never seen a guy cry at half time during extra time. That's he's had a mixed tournament. I feel sorry for the guy because he's just truly one of the greatest players that's been on this planet, I think. But I think there's a time when you've got to say, do you know what? I've had a good time playing football and I've got to step out of it a little bit.
Yeah. Darren, what's your thoughts? Do you think he's embarrassed himself a little bit or not? Or is it passion?
Maybe the management or the collective around it has manifested this situation, because it's clear to see he's not the same player as he used to be. He's still a legend, obviously. And like Callie says, he wants to take this, he wants to take that and the other. Now, what's going on behind the scenes? Does he get first dibs at everything? Is someone strong enough to say to him, look, this is a team game. We're all in it together. It was noticeable that he let Bruno Fernandes take a free kick the other night, didn't he? But it just seems to be a one-man band, doesn't it? And it's to the detriment of the team, because bloody hell, have they got some cracking players. But I think it's holding the team back. And I think Portugal could get stronger once he retires.
If
Well, he will someday.
You've got to, innit? You can't, they'll wheel him out in a wheelchair. Do the kick-off at least.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe. I mean, I had mixed opinions about when Ten Hag was treating him the way he did, but maybe Ten Hag's come in and seen that it was at that point with Man United where he was running things and wanting to do everything, and maybe it was right of him to move him on and get on with the team that he's got that are young enough to improve.
Yeah, maybe.
When the game was game was going on, and I started to get a little bit bored of it, I started looking at stuff off the ball a little bit, including Ronaldo, because the BBC were talking about he still makes class runs into the area. There's no one better at movement in the area than Ronaldo still. And yeah, that's a fair enough comment. He was like, bobbing in and out, but the amount of times that he was showing his frustration when a ball wasn't coming in, it was incredible. I was looking at little things like this because I thought the game was desperately disappointing.
Yeah, it was. Okay, let's move on. So let's look at last night's Spain-Germany. What was your thoughts? Now, there's some controversy in that game as well, which we'll touch on. But thoughts on that game, Nigel?
It was a good game. I quite enjoyed watching it. I thought, Spain are a very good side. They probably might have just edged it against Germany, but I think that the controversial handball was the sort of talking point in a match. I think had Germany have got the penalty then and gone 2-1 up, they probably would have gone on to win it.
Yeah, we let's touch on that because we had a little conversation just before we went live on this whole subject, and obviously Nigel, you quite strongly believe that it was a penalty, and Darren, you believe it wasn't. My thoughts are, I don't quite get the consistency. There have been three major decisions based on the ball touching a player's hand. One was the Belgium game, where the goal was disallowed and brought back because it had touched his fingers on the way through. And then there was another one, and I just can't think. It was where it was a cross and it hit the player's hand. I can't remember what anyway. And then obviously those all given. And this one, I think there's a real split view of this game, this decision. A lot of people believe it wasn't. A lot of people believe it was a penalty, and I guess we're never really going to get to the bottom of it. But for me, it just, if that was not given as a penalty, I wonder why that Belgium goal was disallowed when it just touched his hand. Maybe it's all about the positioning of the arm. If you're listening to ITV, they keep bringing on that American girl, don't they? And I can never understand a word she's going on about, to be honest, half time. But she, I don't know. Thoughts?
I feel like you're obviously in two camps over this. And Gaz, to begin with, I think you hit the nail on the head right at the start of what you said. It's like we don't know where we are with it, really, do we? Because at the end of the day, a lot of handball decisions are subjective, aren't they? I'm in the camp where I didn't think it was. It'd been one of them that if it was given, there would have been just as much outcry why it was given. So I can understand both arguments. I can understand Callie's take on it. But I just thought he was still in a natural silhouette position. The arms weren't raised. They were down by his side, slightly out a little bit as well. But unless you're standing to attention, when you're standing still, your arms generally aren't stuck to your side anyway, are they? So I thought it would have been a bit harsh if it was given. A lot harsh, actually. But we have seen him given, aren't we?
Do you think one of the problems is that they seem to change the rules every other month? Do you think this is, instead of just hard and fast, this is the rule forever and a day,
Yeah, I was going to say the problem is that penalties have been given for less than that. So less of contact with the ball that happened against Germany, there's been penalties given for that. So and that's where your arguments come in, because they're going, well, that was full on. That was right on his hand. The ball was on the way to the goal. and it stopped it. And in anybody's eyes, they go, "That's a penalty." But there's been penalties given for lesser things than that.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I mean, it is hand very clearly, and that actually stopped the ball from hitting the back of the net. So, in some ways, yeah, like I would say, it's such a there's so many rule changes going on all the time. I wish they would just stick to one set of rules and not keep changing. I think for every tournament, if you think about it, every tournament there's a new set of rules, and the referees are given new directives. You mustn't give this, you mustn't give that, And I think this is, as fans, sooner or later you're going to get confused, aren't you? And well, is it? Isn't it? What's the rules? I don't. I just think that they mess about, and I think some of the criticism of VAR. I put a post up recently on our social media after that Germany game, and I just felt it was a Germany game where that was it. The ball hit his hand. Germany against Denmark. There was a couple of real decisions. One was the offside, wasn't it? And so I'm very critical of VAR, as everyone knows, but it's more the management of VAR, the rules that are being made for VAR that I think are ridiculous. With the offside, the toe, and everyone's calling it now the toenail decision. Just make it clear and decisive. A full foot has to be in front of the defender, and then it's offside. Not his toenail, his whole foot. Do that. I mean, it ain't hard.
I'm okay with these offsides, Gaz, because whether it's a toenail, half a foot, it's clear. It's obvious. It's matter of fact. It's offside, because what you'll soon have, if there's a boot, yeah. If you're talking about, if you had you got to make it a boot. If it was about a fraction of a boot or something, or just a tiny bit over, people will still look for leniency on the rule.
Yeah, but Darren,
offside, whether it's a toenail or not.
Yeah, but if it feels, I know what you're saying, but it feels like they are technology is looking for ways to disallow goals all the time, and I just think the fact that they're going to that level of technology, we may as well just play FIFA 24 and not bother with football.
Guys, I hate it, but it's factual, isn't it? Of every offside.
No, I know you say. In fact, I know what you're saying.
Balls are subjective,
and
that's the problem.
To me, it's just I can't stand it. I can't stand modern football anyway. But
I don't want to get into an argument with you guys because I hate VAR myself.
No, I know. It just to me. I know what you're saying. If it's a toenail, it's a toenail. But why does it? I don't know. Scrap VAR. That's what I'll say. But anyway, it is what it is.
Get away from VAR. Get away from VAR. I've got to say, I thought the Germans handled themselves brilliantly after the whistle. We've seen situations where they've lost because they never got the penalty, and they've surrounded the ref at the end of full time, and everything's going off. To be fair, the Germans, I thought they were brilliant. They could have cooked up a lot of shit over that, and I thought they handled themselves really well.
Yeah,
let's get off it. But Darren, we got to have arguments now and again. It'd be good. It makes the show more interesting.
It's a shame that there was controversy because it was a bloody good watch as well. I thought, Spain were excellent, and then it's when they took their wingers off. They settled for the 1-0, and the Germans came right back into the game, and then they got their equaliser. And I thought, where's Spain going to get a winner from now? It looked all ends it was going to be Germany, didn't it? And then they got the last gasp winner, kind of out of nowhere, really. So they were sucker punched the Germans in going for the win. But what a cracking game it was! Yeah. It was a shame it got followed up by the dross of Portugal, France.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I was reading a paper the other day, just sticking with the Spain team. They got a 16-year-old in there, didn't they? A superstar. In the papers, it was saying that he's only 16, and over Germany, you can only work till 10 p.m. as a junior. All right. So they were saying one of them games that started at 8 went into extra time, and Pens, he might have had to have been taken off because he wouldn't be allowed to play after 10.
I think they said on the commentary that, yeah, you're right, Callie. I think they said on the commentary that they had to get special dispensation for that circumstance. So, yeah, you're spot on.
That's a weird one. That's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Mind you, I suppose nobody's ever expected a 16-year-old to be playing in the first team in the Euros.
That's incredible.
This is a really good point made by Andrew here. So, evening, Andrew. Great point. All three of you have different opinions, just like all the referees. They will never get it right. So maybe the good old-fashioned way, just let the man make a decision. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But yeah, it's a very good point, and it's very true. We've all got a different take on it. So if you've got your refs sitting watching your VAR, I don't know whether that's one or two guys, or it's right. When you've got more people involved, they're going to have different opinion, aren't they? And that's what VAR does. It brings more people into the decision process instead of the man in the middle with assistant from his assistants. It's actually spreading the decision process. And again, like it's a great point. The three of us got different opinion, and the
referee, yeah,
really good point. Right, let's have a look. Just a few bits coming up. Yeah, I'm just popping them up. Okay, look, let's move on to the Netherlands, Holland, or Holland. Holland's just a province, isn't it? But we always used to call it.
Can I just bring up that question? And Paul's put. He's put the thing I hate with offside. It takes until play's finished before the flag comes up. Once offside happens, the flag should go up straight away.
Bear with me.
I was watching that the other day, and I actually totally agree with that. I was thinking, if you can see he's offside. If he's offside, put your flag up. But the linesman waited until the play.
Yeah, I've noticed that they're not putting the flag up straight away, are they?
No. The way you see whether he's for.
You're right.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought that the other day.
If they flag it straight away, especially the ball down the line, there's no goal to disallow anyway.
No.
Because the referee stops the game immediately. Yeah.
Do you know what? I just thought it was a useless linesman, but I've seen more of it in this. Yeah, he's right. The flag's going up like way after, isn't it? It's like, what's that
directive,
about?
isn't it? Another directive from the lawmakers.
Yeah, it comes back to what I say, that what sort of directive is that, though, isn't it? It's absolutely ludicrous. But again, I come back to my point. I think every tournament, the refs get different directives. So you've got to feel for the refs.
Yeah,
every tournament they're having to do this or do that. And some of the English refs have been ripped to pieces over some of the decisions they've made. Yet the truth is they've had to make them because that's a directive from UEFA.
Yes.
And we should really bear that in mind.
We've got to remember all the time, Gaz, when we're having these debates and whether we think the decision is right or wrong, we've after the time, it's not about questioning the referee. It's really about the lawmakers, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. And you're right. And you've got to feel for a ref half the time, like I say, because they're getting directives. And in fairness, I don't think UEFA have overly let everyone know what them directives are, which means the ref looks bad. And he gets all the grief, bless him. Now, you can't... Hey, do you know what? You can't play football without a ref. So let's not beat them up too much, eh?
Yeah, let the ref.
Adam said, "Gaz on the ref side for a change."
Oh, they're bringing it up. Yeah, no, it's true, Adam. And I know you've been ref. You're a referee, Adam. And yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've ever been overly against refs. I don't like the VAR, but it's true. I think it should be said that refs, you can't play football without a ref. And that, even Sunday League, let's face it, when a ref don't turn up or you can't get one, the game ain't quite the same. I've had a ref games on a Sunday League when I managed a side for a little while and I played for one. And when I had a manager, I had a fucking ref couple of the games. and it's like I can't ref, but and the game isn't the same, is it? If you haven't got someone who knows exactly what they're doing, so yeah, we shouldn't.
Thing is, though, like I said again, the VAR and the rule changes, they're making it hard for the refs. That's why they're getting the stick. When I played back in my day, if a decision was made by the ref, you might not have liked it, you might have argued it, but he'd still stick to his decision, and you got on with the game. And then it was a talking point afterwards for the fans in the pubs, but you got on with the game. The referee's decision was always final. Now it ain't final anymore, is it?
I was brought up, my dad was a referee, you know, it's just like parks football and stuff like that. So I've kind of been brought up to, like, you know, my dad always says to me, you know, it's all about angles, son. It's all about, you know, one view of it from one particular angle. Even offsides and that, he used to say to me, don't forget, these linesmen, barely 6 foot, and on the TV you can see it's an obvious offside from the other side of the pitch, but you've got a high angle. But the linesman has got to be able to see over 6'4" defenders, which is impossible. So I always will try to stick up to the referees unless something is, you know, an absolute, poorly.
Yeah. I think we're all learning a lesson. VAR's come in because of the amount of grief refs were getting, I guess. You know, if the game was that perfect, then they wouldn't have looked for technology to jump in. But
do we want? No, we don't. We want it raw, don't we?
Of course.
Same game at the European Championships as we might see in the park on Sunday. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, you know, and I think the other thing for me is, and I don't know whether you agree with this, guys, but I also feel that maybe a ref, where before he would have to be more decisive and make that decision, maybe now he's thinking, I don't want the grief, let's go to VAR. And is it making it a cop-out for a ref to make that tough decision, and he's copping out, you know? So you know, and also the other element of this is because VAR is in such a small percentage of football in our country, at least. It's only the Premier League, and there's another, you know, God knows how many leagues below that. And, you know, go down into non-league, in the lower leagues, there's no VAR. Therefore, refs, the game's very different, isn't it, for a ref? If he ain't got to rely on the, you know, so again, like we see it in the FA Cup, some games have got VAR, some games haven't. You know,
I agree with you, Gaz. I do agree with you. I do think some referees are refereeing on the side of caution, thinking, well, you know, the VAR will pick that up if I've made
that's what I was wondering,
instead of being decisive. However, the referee can't intervene for the VAR. It's the other way around, isn't it? So, Anyway, I'm sick of VAR.
Come on, let's get off it. Okay, Netherlands against Turkey. Now, guys, I've got to be honest with you. I see hardly any of this game, so I'm going to struggle to.
Me too, because I was dad cabs last night. I was pulling my hair out.
Nigel, did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Go for it.
I didn't watch all of it, but I was on and off with it. It was a game that I think Netherlands probably edged it, but you know, I like Turkey. I think they've had a great tournament, and at one point, you know, I thought they were going to put it off, but I think, like I said, the Netherlands, they're not playing well at the moment. England aren't, France aren't. There's a lot of these big teams that you're thinking, like, are they going to hit peak form in a minute? You know, like maybe they'll hit it on the semis or the finals. But I would love to see Turkey get through. It would have kept the tournament fresh. You know, the unexpected's happening. It was a good game.
Yeah. So all right, come on. We can talk a little bit more about Netherlands when we look forward to the semis. So the big one last night. England now. I want to take this in a different format. So, like with a lot of people, we've been very negative about the system, about the substitutions, everything. So, and last night's game, let's be honest, it was a toss of a coin who was going to win that in the end. you know, the penalties and you know, a massive positive from England's point of view, the penalties. But so let's look at the positives and then we'll look at the negatives. So the positives out of last night's game, and then let's have a look at some of the negatives. So I mean, obviously, I think the obvious one before we say anything else has got to be one of the best ever England performances in a penalty shootout. They were immaculate penalties. You know, I think it's the best ever penalty performance by an England side. Would you agree?
Yeah, I thought, looking at it, when I saw the players that were stepping up to take it, I think, they all take penalties for the clubs. And I felt actually confident that we'll win the shootout. That's the first time ever. And it's stupid, but, you know, if we'd won the game 1-0 or something like that in normal time, yeah, great, we got through the semi-finals. But I was DJing in town last night and actually winning on penalties, I think it lifted the happiness levels up to another level. It was like everyone was going absolutely mad. But yeah, I feel that we've got players in there now that if we do go to a penalty shootout, you know, we should be expecting to win them. Yeah,
it's an amazing penalty thing. Stuart's put out there, Knight Southgate, when we win the tournament. I'll be glad to see the back of him, whether we win or lose, to be honest. But there we are. And I have my reasons. Okay. Performance-wise, chaps, a definite improvement. Agreed?
Tactics. Change your tactics straight away, you know, like it's brought out different. You know, the thing about yesterday is we got Saka into the game a lot more. And he proved it by getting the goal. But we was getting the ball out to in wide spaces, but further down the pitch that he's been getting it. So them tactics seem to open up things for us.
I'm so pleased to hear Darren go no. So great. So now we've got a great debate happening here, if we all agree. So, I mean, Darren, you said no, so clearly you feel there wasn't it. I watched the game and I felt there wasn't it. Now I've got a lot of negatives as well. Don't get me wrong, a lot of negatives. But I did feel it was an improvement. I thought the Swiss were a good side. I thought the Swiss were very good. And to be fair, if they were a bit more clinical, I don't think we would have won that game last night. I thought in front of goal, they were poor. But the rest of us, all the way through the game, I thought they were good. But they just lacked in front of goal. And had that been a more clinical side in front of goal, I do genuinely think we wouldn't have won last night. Anyway, but I did think there was an improvement, Darren. So just out of interest then, you say no. Did you not see any improvement then on previous games?
No.
Really?
No. People are going to think my surname is McAshley. But trust me, I'm English and I want us to do well. But I'm not sure we had a shot on target again until the goal. I cannot think of a shot on target that we had. Yeah. The positives, penalties, we got through and we stifled a very good Swiss side. Yeah. But if they were a bit more clinical, we'd be packing our bags. So that's a positive. There was a couple of decent performances from players. I thought Rice had a really good game. Saka, excellent. I'm trying to think who else. The two centre-halves, they were okay as well. That's about it. Again, sideways, backwards, safe football. Saka was the only guy in the team penetrating their defence. The only player. Everything else was played in front of the Swiss defence again. And you can't say we've had an improved performance because one player was exceptional last night, because the rest of the attacking force was just like blunt.
Yeah, just had Lee come on and say Kane has to be dropped. He seems to be England's Ronaldo problem. I don't think it's a Ronaldo problem. I just think that the system and the way Gareth wants England to play, it just doesn't fit in with Kane's play. You know, he's lost a bit of pace, and so I agree with it. I would drop Kane. I'd bring someone in that's got a bit of pace up front, because that way you can play balls behind the defence and start pressing them in their own half, not in our half.
We're one-dimensional. We're very predictable. I think I said it the last podcast. So, we're so easy to defend against because everything England do is played in front of the opposition's back four. Apart from the Saka, we're not trying to get behind them, are we? It's just like it's such a watch.
And he was putting some good balls across, to be fair, as well. And there was no one in there because Kane was a midfielder. He wasn't. I mean,
exactly.
He was
they were the other side of the Swiss defence. Exactly.
There was no one in attack. I agree.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I've just got to say, people are agreeing. Just that one there, Gary, the most successful England manager, and that's a fact. Me and you are going to disagree on this one, Stuart.
No chance. He hasn't won anything.
There's only one manager that can deem as being the most successful England manager, and that's the manager that's actually won something. And that's my view. That's how we judge managers in the Premier League. That's how we judge players. That's how we judge everyone on what have they won. I do agree that he's reached quarterfinals, semi-finals more than any other manager. So yeah, he's a successful manager in that respect. But surely, the man that won the World Cup at this stage, until someone can better that or equal it, then surely he's the most successful. Alf Ramsey surely has got to be the most successful man. That's my view. If Klopp hadn't won nothing at Liverpool, but he'd got them to 8 finals but never won nothing, that would be deemed a failure and not successful. And that's if Chelsea don't win nothing in the next 3 years, but have gone to an FA Cup final and League Cup final, but still ain't won nothing, that would be deemed not successful. So, that's where we will have to agree to disagree, my friend. That's my view. It's my only view, whether people agree or disagree. But I agree.
I've got two things I want to bring up. One of them's a substitution situation again. Every time he's actually made a substitution and changed the team, we've gone on to score a goal or we've won games. It was 15 minutes before the end, I think, that he brought the 3 subs on. And I don't think we're making changes soon enough. Surely you can see that when he's brought in players and they made a difference. And secondly, he played Luke Shaw. So if he was okay to come on as a sub, why didn't he play him from the start? And if he breaks down during the game, we replace him. But if he's fitted up to come on as a sub, put him on from the start. See, that's why I can't understand this guy.
Yeah, this is. I'll be glad to see the back of him, whether he wins or loses. And he will get a United as well. There's no he will get his United. Don't you worry. I'm sure if he wins, Stuart, he'll get his United. But I'll be glad to see the back of him because I don't understand his tactics, and I think as a team, we could be so much better if the system was more amenable to the players. But the big thing that backs that up, what you've just said, is the Swiss did their subs like most teams do. They freshened it up at around, I think it was 63 minutes. They brought their subs on, and the intensity went up. The freshness came on, and what did they do? They got their goal. Now, all right,
the goal was coming. I messaged one of my mates, a little group chat, and I was like, "There's a Swiss goal coming here within 5 minutes."
Yeah,
and it went. Yeah,
and their substitutions helped that happen. They brought a couple of really good players on, a change of game a little bit. Bosh, they got their goal. And not being funny, but he did his substitutions because of that. That's the only reason why we had the substitutions. It was reactive, exactly,
not proactive. Yeah, not proactive.
And to be fair, the goal that we got to get the equaliser was a single moment of brilliance from one player. It was nothing to do with them substitutions, although Palmer coming on was always going to, it definitely helped England, but it didn't help get a goal. The goal was a brilliant bit of individual skill.
I'll tell you what, for the goal, Rice made a lovely little, it's not been really spoken about, Declan Rice made a lovely little decoy run that just sort of like took away the second Swiss defender. to open up the chance. Obviously, Saka cut inside one. And he just a little run he made just took the second Swiss defender away, which was like not picked up by many people, but it was
I
class.
thought Rice had a good game. I thought I thought he had a good game.
With old Southgate, I can see both points of view about the success and that, because like percentages, he's right up there, and that's fine. We've all got different opinions, but I don't like this England side, and I don't like it because the way we play football. So Callie was talking about the penalties yesterday, about he was confident. When he went to penalties, I was relaxed for the first time in God knows how long, because I was very, very slightly indifferent. I thought if we lose, the football that we've played, we don't deserve any praise, and that'll be Southgate gone. So I mean, a little bit indifferent. It was more of a, back in the day, I would be jumping around like a madman, like a lunatic, yeah. But yesterday it was just like, oh, nice, we won. But I wasn't even nervous for the penalties, and that is very telling. I just do not like this team. Callie was talking about that, he likes Turkey. I like Turkey. I like Austria. I like Georgia. Don't like England. I wonder why. The football that they play, these other teams that I talked about, they haven't got the players that we've got, but look what they try to produce. And what we've got, that's the frustrating thing. We've got all these, these sensational forwards, some of them, and we're just so boring and dour, and it just winds me up. I for one, would be glad to see the back of Southgate.
I think we, the teams you mentioned, like Georgia and Slovenia, all them teams, they played their hearts out for the country, and the reason is because next time the Euros come around, they might not qualify. It's not a God-given right with them teams to qualify. Whereas for England, we just seem to take it for granted. We're going to qualify for the World Cup. We're going to qualify for the Euros. We take it for granted. Them teams, and when they get into a big tournament like that, that's the best thing that's ever happened to them in their football careers. So they're going out and they're making sure they're not leaving anything behind.
I really hate the fact that I'm criticising England. I really, really, and I know I'm like a broken record, and it sounds like nothing will satisfy me. And even if we win it, if we grind out a win on penalties, and we grind out a win in the final on penalties, there'll be a little bit of me still empty because of the way we play. I can't help it.
I'm with you, mate. Listen, I want us to win. Nick Paul said, "Would you still want Southgate gone if we on the Euros?" Yes, I would. I think he's had enough time. But I want us to win, but I'd love us to win well. I'd love us to get into the semi-finals, put on a performance where everyone goes, bloody hell, that's the England side that we've been missing. Get into a final, do the same thing, and then I'll be a happy man. We all want to win it, but if we can win it well, playing really good football, jackpot.
Yeah, you have the camps, don't you? Like, as long as we win it, it doesn't matter. Like George Graham's 1-0 to the Arsenal. They bored the arse off probably even their customers who used to go to Highbury every other week. But they won. And I suppose that is the name of the game, especially in cup football. But yeah, I want more. There's nothing wrong with wanting more.
It is a fact that, like I said, it's a fact that the squad is so strong this year in England, and it's probably been the best squad we've had. I think that's why it's brought out the frustration in everybody because of the way they play. Simple facts, like I said, with them players we got, if they go and put on a performance in the semis, win the finals, I'll be a happy man. I'll forgive them for all the other shit performances.
I've got to just say, Stuart, keep it coming, mate. This show's about debate and different opinions, and please, mate, we're loving it. And I'll just pop up his other one in a moment, and he says he's loving the debate, and it is, but yeah, just this, Stuart, I know what you're saying, but I just feel, particularly in the last two games, that we got through by the skin of our teeth and a little bit of luck. And I just think one slight difference and we're out. So for me, I don't see that Southgate's style is what is getting us through. I think it has to be luck. I mean, I just think that again, the only reason why we didn't lose last night was because they were appalling in front of goal, the Swiss. But they had better chances of us in extra time. Shaqiri, the corner that hit the post, and there's a couple of other instances. And then, the last minute piece of genius of the overhead kick with the last almost kick of the game. I mean, that surely isn't a system that's gonna win you through every time. And that's what worries me about watching the England games. And I don't think Southgate has got a plan to win like that. I really, who can? You can't. Oh, come on, we'll wait. We'll wait to the last minute. We won't play well, and then we'll win a game. I don't think he means.
There's people saying, oh, like he's not bringing the subs on till late because of extra time and all that. That's a load of balls, that is, because if we lose the match, then them subs that were going to come on for extra time, they don't get a game. So these people are saying, oh, he's saving them for extra time. You can't do that. You've got to win the game before you go into extra time. So if you think these subs can make a difference, you put them on, you give them a chance. You give them at least 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. I think we're just going to finish off on Stuart there. See, look, he's loving it. He's loving the debate. We are as well, Stuart. Keep it coming, mate. Keep it coming. But I know what you're saying. He's got a record that is excellent in terms of previous managers. But I think you can't not judge success without a win, without a trophy. And that's how if we judged other managers in that manner, that would be fair enough. But I don't think we do. I don't think any manager is judged on, he come runner-up or he got a loser's medal at the FA Cup. He's judged on how many trophies they've won. And players as well. Look at Kane. Kane, the man who will never win nothing in his lifetime type of thing, because, he's not very he's not deemed as... He's a great goal scorer, but is he a true success? And everyone will say, until the man gets a winner's medal, he's not going to be the ultimate success story. So I think that's my view and a view of some, and some will agree with you. And it's just great to debate it, like you say, mate. Keep it coming without a doubt.
Yeah. Going back. Southgate's record is like I said, it stands up there with almost the best as far as England is concerned, and fair play, but. If anyone who's watching this tournament and can't see we're seriously riding our luck, is anybody actually watching these games where we're thinking, oh yeah, we're doing all right, we're playing well, okay, yeah, we're losing to Slovakia with about 15 minutes to go. Oh, we'll only put the subs on now, we'll be all right. Anyone who's watching this England, the performance, they cannot be happy with what they're seeing until after the game.
Yeah, and that's I guess that's a football supporter for you. I guess you're right. I mean that's a lot of what happens, and I've seen some people are calling him a tactical genius because he's doing it deliberately. I've seen people say that, and to me, we're riding our luck, and it has been pure luck that's got us through, not tactical genius. I can't see that at all. Just wanted to go back to that one because I think you answered him, Nigel. Who do we all want to replace Southgate if he does go? I mean, good question. I've only got one name that comes into my head really, and that's Eddie Howe. Really, he plays quite a pressing, attacking football. Nice, I think Eddie Howe, hopefully at one point, I mean, he's probably one of the best English managers at present. Although international football's a different game, isn't it? So who knows?
I'd want someone like Klopp or Guardiola that plays football at high tempo.
Yeah. Anyone who improves our style on the eye, that's who I want. Yeah, definitely. So people say that's unrealistic, blah, blah, blah. But don't forget, Eddie Howe's in a job at the moment. So, yeah, I just want the absolute best FA to do their due diligence and make a decision regarding the fact that right, who's out there, who's going to play a brand of football that will get the nation on their feet. I understand the Southgate appointment after the debacle of Euro 2016 and then the Allardyce. So Southgate was a safe pair of hands. And then, he's had decent success tournament record-wise. There's no doubt about it. But it's a bit like when Manchester United appointed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for a bit of safe pair of hands, for a bit of stability. And then he started off really, really well, didn't he? And then they were almost like stuck with him. Slightly different dynamic here, granted, but we're stuck with Southgate's style of boring football. And I just want anyone who will promise us progressive footy.
Can I just say a quick hello to my mate Roy Wiltshire that's just come on? He's a Walsall fan.
Sadler.
Where? Sorry. Oh, I'm just going through the things. What's his name again, Nigel?
Roy Wiltshire.
Roy, up the Walsall. What's this one? I feel that the sleeping lion has started to roar. That's Roy, yeah. I ain't so sure. I know, Darren, you said you couldn't send it, and statistically, you're right, by the way. I did feel there was a bit more to England last night myself, but I don't believe the Lions roared. I think we got through at toss of a coin again. Very lucky. Very, very lucky.
Listen, the thing of the tournament is like there's going to be a lot of fans, the majority of fans, they won't care if we're playing boring football so long as we win it. Right? But there'll be other people like us that know that with the squad they've got and the players we've got to decide, we want to win it well. We want to win it, but we want to win it properly. Sending out a signal to all the other countries how good we are. But there'll be a lot of people out there. Listen, it's not about how they play. It's not about this. It's about the score. It's about winning it. We don't care as long as our name's on the cup winners. And
as people say, in years to come, they won't read about the fact that England won the cup by playing poor football. But they'll only see that we're winners. And I think we'll all be happy if we win. But again, it doesn't mean that we can't be objective about the style in which we play. And could we play better? I just think we could play miles better. And I genuinely believe that Southgate stifles that opportunity for England to proper shine, and play as we know they should be able to and can.
While we're in the tournament, us critics are sounding like a right miserable bunch of buggers, aren't they?
Yeah.
But you wait for anybody to be sticking up for Southgate. If we carry on playing like that in a semi-final against Netherlands and lose, let's see how much support Southgate will get then.
Turn on a sixpence.
Yeah.
And look, we're all pleased we're in the semi-finals. Of course we are. We're all pleased that we're winning, and unfortunately, if you've got anything about you in terms of being honest with yourself, which is difficult because of your passion you have for England, but if you can just take that deep breath, take your England cap off for that moment, and reflect on how lucky England have been to get where they are with the draw, with how they've won the games. And let's be honest, as successful as he's been, he's always had the lucky draw. He's always had the lucky route to a semi, to a quarter final. And again, we all know the minute he comes up against one of the top sides, we don't get anywhere. But you're right, Darren. It will turn on a sixpence. It'll turn on a sixpence. If we don't get the result. So that's a great moment, actually, to go, right, let's look forward to the semi-finals. So we've got, obviously, England, Netherlands, and we've got France. Two great games. Let's start with France, Spain. what do we think? What do you think, chaps?
Well, we're
no.
all just saying we're waiting for the real French team to turn up. So if they turn up, I think it's going to be anyone. I think it's I couldn't put it between the two of them. But on the form at the moment, you'd have to side with Spain.
I'll go along with that. I think it's Spain. Once again, France, like Callie said, waiting for them. Even their supporters are waiting for them to turn up. But Deschamps is playing a style which is not making them turn up, is he? They're just kind of like looking to hit you on a counter attack. They're not taking the game to anyone. As long as Spain, when they take the lead, they don't just try to sit on it and take off their two wingers. I see Spain, winning it, and rightly so. It was funny enough, my pre-tournament prediction of a final, but obviously that didn't happen. But I'm confident Spain are going to do it. They've just gone and won in the host country. There's not many harder things to do in football than go and win in Germany in tournament time. So the French are going to, they're going to respect the French, but they're certainly not going to fear them.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. For me, Spain are probably my favourites to win the competition as much as I want England to win it. But yes, for me, Spain have been the one side that I think Stuart said earlier. There hasn't been a side overly dominating, maybe other than Spain. And Spain, and he's right. They're not the world beaters they used to be either, but they have definitely played the more attractive football. They've certainly looked very difficult to stop. And like for me, I don't know what will happen with Holland. If we move, if England get through to the final against Spain, what would be my fear is I felt Switzerland opened us up too easy some points last night. Had some great chances, and as I've said about too many times in this hour, I felt that they were dreadful in front of goal. Had they been clinical, as Spain are, then I think England got to be careful. That defence wobbled last night, in my view. I felt they opened us up. They had some really good opportunities, the Swiss. And we always felt going into the tournament that the defence would possibly be the weakness. I think the reason why it's looked stronger than what we all anticipated is because England have been playing so deep. You've got an 8-man defence. So I don't think our defence has been truly tested. Now, if we're going to beat the Netherlands and then maybe Spain, we've got to open up. We have to. We can't win against these sides now. We're in that end bit now. We're in the end game. We cannot win against these sides unless we start to press and open up. And that's when I think we're going to, unfortunately, see the weakness in the defence that we all thought was going to be there at the beginning of the tournament. So for me, I think let's move swiftly on the end of that.
I think
to the England-Netherlands game then.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting whether Luke Shaw starts the game off against Netherlands. That's going to be a big point because England do play better when he's in the side. It's a more balanced. But I was listening to Talk Sport today, and they were interviewing one of the Netherlands guys, sports reporters, and they were saying it's a feeling over in the Netherlands that they can beat England. And he said it's not so much whether we know that England aren't playing well at the moment, but he says although they're not playing well, they're not losing games. They're a very hard team to beat. And he said that's the only thing that's concerning with the Netherlands is whether we can break them down. And I think that's quite a good point. But like I said, if we don't score goals, we don't win matches. So it's all very well saying England defend very well, and but. I think a lot of it will hinge on whether he starts with Shaw and he gets down the left hand side and he makes the team play a little bit. So we'll have to see on that one.
Yeah. I've not watched overly too much in the Netherlands. I have watched some. I don't think there'll be any harder tests than what we had against that Swiss side. I thought the Swiss were good, other than their not being clinical in front of goal. I mean, they skyrocketed. Don't know how many chances they put up in row Z. You know, they really did. I mean, you know, their finishing was appalling, really. But overall, other than that, I thought they were really, really good. And I don't know if the Netherlands will pose a more clinical threat up front. I don't think they'll pose a bigger threat than what the Swiss did, but they will be as good as what the Swiss were against us. But if the Netherlands are that little bit more clinical up front, we could struggle. So again, I think we may have to open up a bit more, and that then maybe highlights the weakness in our defence. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to beat the Netherlands, and I think Spain will beat France, unless there's a miraculous change in the French. But I do think, for me, I really struggle to see how we would beat the Spanish in the final. Basically,
Yeah, regarding the England Netherlands, mate, I just don't know anymore. I just don't know. Because I don't think Netherlands are anything special, and everyone has heard what I think about the English. I agree with Callie. I think it's a must to start Shaw, because at least when he came on, we did get a little bit more natural wit from, and we actually had an overlapping runner. It set up a chance for Eze near the end of the match where he slammed into the side netting. That's probably the first time in the tournament that sort of move has happened. But I have no doubt that England will stick with their dour brand of football. I'm almost going to tip England to win just with luck, with no finesse, no skill, just going to carry on riding our luck. And if we carry on playing like we do and we don't win, I won't be shedding a tear.
Interesting what Stuart's saying there, actually. Make the final shackles off, will be let off, then England win. Stuart, I hope you're right, but we didn't see that in the last final that we were in.
Exactly.
We didn't see that. And do you know what? I think this is the problem, isn't it? I think, I want to be positive, but because of what I've witnessed over the last sort of few tournaments, it's all going the same way. It just is the same, you know what I mean? And it feels like we're going to stumble like we do every time. I hope and pray you're right, Stuart. I really do.
We need to score in the last 5 minutes, because when we score, we'll just defend the lead, and it'll be 10 men behind the ball again. So the later we score, the better.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 4 was cat. I don't know what that means, Stu, mate. Sorry, not sure what you mean by that. Netherlands will finish. Then chances against England. England need to be on the front foot from the. So
we won't be, will we?
Nick's saying there the Netherlands will finish their chances, which the Swiss didn't. That's their only downfall, really, I thought.
Has any of you looked at Kyle Walker and thought he's a bit of a liability at the moment? Kyle Walker is not playing well. He's loose with possession. He's getting caught out of position countless times. I feel like Kyle Walker, and I hate to say this because he's been classed before, but he's an accident waiting to happen. So I hope I'm wrong.
I think the reason he's got Walker in here though is because of his pace. He's one of the quickest players in that tournament. So even if he doesn't make a mistake, sometimes his pace makes up for it. But he's a safety key in the back three for anything that goes over the top.
But
So I think he's.
he
I do
takes
agree
a
with
player
you.
with pace and then plays walking football. Well, some of it has been walking football, now, hasn't it? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Walking, eh?
Shaw has got his own natural width. He has got a bit of weight on, actually, isn't he? Yeah, I can say that. Look, I'm a hypocrite. Because I want to wrap it up now because I'm on holiday. Cool heads, we have players and the experience. Old heads and experience. Stuart, your positivity is absolutely commendable. It really is. And you have given us some great debate tonight, so I thank you for that.
Yeah.
I reckon Tony is our joker in the pack. I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean?
No,
I do know what you mean, Lee, so I'm only joking. Okay, I'm going to finish it up, chaps. When Luke Shaw came on, it balanced the side and we were completely different. I think we would agree with that. Luke Shaw balanced the side a bit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nigel, would you agree with that?
Yeah, they missed it from the start of the tournament. There's been no balance over there, is there?
So what a great way to finish a show by agreeing with Stuart. Brilliant. Listen, guys and girls, I don't really know what we're going to do Wednesday. What time's kick off?
8.
Okay, so and then
we might as well do. What about do the watch along?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, because it seems to work all right here. Yeah, I'm up for that. Yeah, I'm up for that. Cause I'm only going to be watching it up here. So, yeah, I'm up for a watch along. Darren,
I'm not sure if I can do it because I'm on till 7 on Wednesday. And it's his birthday as well.
Oh,
and my mother's death comes before England football team.
I'll tell you what we do. We'll see. People, keep an eye out for what we're going to do next. It's a difficult one because if we then win that, we're then through to the final, which Carol, you'll have to watch it back from the start. We're about to finish. I think I don't know what we're doing because the final's Sunday, isn't it? So I suspect if we're in the final, I don't know, jump in the car and drive to Berlin. What do you reckon? You up for it?
No.
No.
No, I'm not going to Berlin. No.
Jump in the car and drive to Berlin. Okay, I've done that before. So I drove all the way to Lyon, then got the train to St Etienne.
Wow.
mad. Okay, I really don't know what we're going to do. You're going to have to watch out on our social media platforms for what we're going to do next. We'll let you know what we're doing, whether it's Wednesday. Are we going to do a watch along? We'll have to see. And also, I mean, if Nigel's up for it, we could do that. Keep an eye out. And then with the final being on the Sunday, my thoughts would be possibly we wouldn't do a show on the Sunday, but maybe do a one on the Monday. Maybe that would work. Review it and review the whole tournament, do a review show. And then we'll have a couple of weeks off. And come back bright and breezy, ready for the new season, chaps.
Our audience will tell us what we need to do, Gaz, won't they?
I'm sure they will. Okay, last words, Nigel.
Good weekend so far. And my mixed couch stream will be on later on.
Glad you remembered.
At 9:30 onwards. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all coming towards the end now, isn't it? I don't know whether it's been the greatest Euros ever, but I think it's been really organised well. Let's see what happens on Wednesday.
Darren?
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed the Euros, actually. Of course, there's been some drab games. There's some good stuff. Defensive generally been on top, but overall, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing these podcasts, and I think it's brilliant the people, all the comments, because we're nothing, are we, without the comments? So when the comments are coming in, they're giving us other little things that we can be discussing. So it's great, and thanks for the comments and keep them coming in.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, wouldn't be any good without you lot. And this show is about everybody. I mean, we're on it, but it's about you guys as well. And the key is to get involved. I've enjoyed this tournament more the group games. I think for me, I felt like some of the lower sides, seeing the passion, and some of the games were out. Still, one of my favourite games was Turkey Georgia. And the Slovenias, just watching the passion that they've got, the gap very much smaller between the lower clubs and the more elite countries than what we've seen in the past. So I think I've enjoyed it. Yeah, I have enjoyed it. Much better than the last one I have anyway. I did enjoy the last one, but this one I'm enjoying. Okay, that's it. Last words again, as always. Have a lovely time. I'm on holiday, so I will have a lovely time. Maybe see you Wednesday. We'll keep an eye out, and we'll confirm all that as we go through. And we will confirm what's going to happen next Sunday, very much depending on who's in the final. Gentlemen, thank you very much again. It's been a pleasure. And everybody else who's been watching and joining in, thank you so much. We couldn't do it without you. So, see you all next week. And I'm, again, never ready, am I? Never, ever ready. Oh, dear, oh me, eh? That one.